Hey, hello, it's time for another game pickup video, and today I am going to show 5 Nintendo Switch titles that I've picked up recently. Out of those 5, like 3 of them are, very high on my list, and I would say that I would recommend them and they are worth checking out. Now, that is based on if you are able to find like a good deal for them though. But I also have a bit of a feeling that these titles will be a bit harder to find like later on. 2 of them though, out of this stack, they were budget titles. Definitely the first one that I'm not too sure about, so that is why I will begin with that one. They were on the list because I'm kind of curious about that. Definitely be based on like, hey, how would they play on a Nintendo Switch 2? With that said though, let's get started. The first one is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Red of the Mutants. Now, I was able to find this one for €9, like brand new. Usual going price is like 29, like around 30. I don't think this game is worth picking up for that price, but yeah, you know, for 9, like a physical copy. Not sure, like, how to compare this to like what type of genre it is. Maybe a mix between like a 3D platformer, but leaning a bit more like in a beat 'em up style. But yeah, it being a Switch 1 title, whenever I see like gameplay footage, it doesn't always like perform that well. It is also not the best looking game. But I was thinking, you know, if this is actually able to run a bit better on the Switch 2, I might find some enjoyment out of it. And it's the Ninja Turtles. I like the Ninja Turtles, okay? So, yeah, for €9, I thought it is worth a shot. Now, I will play it. If you know, my opinion changes and I do think it's worth checking out, I will let you know, like in a different video. But I have my doubts. The next one, feeling a bit more sure about it, but somewhat of a similar story to like Red of the Mutants, and that is actually the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Mutants Unleashed. Now, this one definitely seems like a better Ninja Turtles game when you compare to Red of the Mutants. Was able to get this one for 10, but yeah, a similar story. Performance isn't that great on the Switch 1, but I do have a feeling that it will run a bit better on the Switch 2, but I still need to confirm that, so don't pin me on that. But for 10, like a physical copy, like a brand new one for 10, seems like a very good deal. And the gameplay looks a bit more enticing than Red of the Mutants, but yeah, quite similar. It's somewhat of a like beat 'em up, platformer game, but again, it leans a bit more in the platformer or the beat 'em up style. Now, I think the latest movie, just as a sidetrack, the latest movie is somewhat, or this game is somewhat based on the latest movie, and that movie is worth checking out. I watched it like a couple of weeks or so ago, and it is actually very fun, very cool art style. That's Mutants Unleashed. Now the next title, was able to get this one. This is a second-hand title. It is actually quite tricky to find like new. And it's also not the most expensive title, but I do have a feeling it might be a bit hard to get like later on and even now because of like the Switch 2 performance. And that is actually Darksiders 3. This is like a character action type of game and you play with Fury. This is the third part in the Darksiders series. I really enjoy the Darksiders series. Darksiders 1 is definitely my favorite. I still need to play 2. Darksiders 1 is also a game that I would recommend for the Switch 2 or even the Switch 1. It's a fantastic game. If you don't play like Switch games, it is also available on the PlayStation 4 or Xbox. But Darksiders 1 is just a fantastic like character action game, hack and slashish, Zelda. It combines like different genres together, but it's just a very cool game. Now, like I said, I have not played the second one, but that one also seemed like a very decent version. But the third one was also always the one that kind of stood out. Like, it's a very cool character like Fury. I do feel it leans a bit more in the action side, like the character action side. It just fits the character. But this version, or yeah, the Switch version, but just the third part wasn't always the best performing game, and from a graphical standpoint, but also FPS. I think even like on the PlayStation 4, it has some issues. The Switch 1 version, or if you play it on the Switch 1, yeah, it's not like the best. Also not the best looking game. But when you see how it actually runs on the Switch 2, like a steady 60 FPS, and also I want to say like the resolution definitely got like a bit of a boost, or at least the image quality looks a bit clearer. Yeah, I felt like, okay, now is actually the time to pick this one up. Because yeah, you with a character action game, you just want to get like that 60 FPS. But yeah, it's currently not too expensive though. I think I paid around like 15 for this one. Yeah, from CEX, and I see the price like hover around that. But I do think that more people will search out for Darksiders 3 now, because it runs a lot better on the Switch 2. So yeah, if you are interested in Darksiders, and you always skip this one, maybe now is the time to check this one out. And yeah, if you have never heard of like Darksiders, again, play the first one, man. That is actually a fantastic game. Highly recommend it. The next Switch title, yeah, also found like an amazing deal for this one, and the retail price is actually a bit higher than the usual Switch prices, because this is like an insane collection. Was able to get it for 10. I have a feeling you need to be really lucky to find it for 10. But if you're able to find it for cheap, yeah, again, it's worth checking out. And that is the Star Wars Heritage bundle. So that includes like 7 games. It includes Jedi Knight, a fantastic Star Wars game. Star Wars Force Unleashed, that is based on the Wii version. It's a bit different than the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 version, but I have a feeling it's still like enjoyable. It has also Jedi Knight 2, also a fantastic game. Played those like Jedi Knight games in the past on the PC. It also contains Republic Commando. Never played it, but at some point I need to play that one, because people say it is one of the, yeah, it's a unique Star Wars game, and it looks cool. Star Wars Racer, Star Wars Racer is pretty damn awesome. I really like the Nintendo 64 version, but in the past I also played like the Dreamcast version quite a bit. That's correct, right? Yeah, there's the Dreamcast version. Yeah, I played that one. It's cool. And yeah, then the 2 heavy hitters that are also sort of on here is Knights of the Old Republic and the Knights of the Old Republic 2. That's the Sith Lords. Now, those 2 games are not on the card, but this package does not contain like a download code. If you just insert this card, it will download those 2 games. Normally, I really don't prefer that. Like, I wish that everything is on the card, but that actually means that 5 of these games are on the card, and the other 2 you just have to download. They are like bigger games and worth checking out. And also the performance of those games on Switch 2, especially for the Knights games, from what I could gather, yeah, they definitely got like a boost, like a steady 60 FPS, but also a resolution bump. But yeah, I was able to get this for 10, and 7 Star Wars games for 10 is a fantastic deal, especially considering that you do have a version of this with the night games on one card, but then there's another version that only has like Republic Commando and the Racer game on one card. And I think there was a Force Unleashed release, just a card with that game on it. So getting like 7 games in one package, it just seems like yeah, it's just a very cool bundle, right? And yeah, again, it's a shame that you need to download those Knights games, but that's like okay-ish to me. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was very happy and lucky that I was able to get this for 10. And yeah, it's kind of like up to you to decide like how much this is worth for you. But I would say this is worth keeping your eye on because it is a fantastic bundle, and if you're able to get it for cheap, you know, seems like a very good deal. But yeah, also feel that this is one of those games that, yeah, I spoke or mentioned already that the retail price is pretty high. I often see it for around like 40 or no, for 50 or 60 or even, but I also don't see it in stock that often. And yeah, it being a Star Wars game, I could see this one being a bit trickier to find like new, like later on. Just a tiny bit, not like super rare, but yeah, it's worth keeping your eye on and to find like a good deal for this package. It's always a bit like when you see the mention of like, hey, internet download required, makes me a bit more hesitant of picking a game up like this. But again, it's just solely for the Knights games. All the other games are on there. Now, the final game, highly recommend this one, especially again for the performance increase when you play it on the Switch 2. This is a fantastic looking game. I still need to play it, so I will show a sealed copy. But yeah, when I see like gameplay footage of it, it was high on my list and constantly on my radar. I was checking it out, but also it is quite of a recent release, and I just don't see it like a lot, like in retail stores or like online stores, and even like secondhand. I just don't see it that often, and I have a feeling this one could become quite rare like later on. Let's just show the game first. It is Buckaroo. Now this is a 3D platformer. Yeah, it looks awesome, man. I will show like a gameplay trailer, maybe here or here. Today I feel more like it should be here, right? But yeah, Buckaroo. The issue is that on the Switch 1, performance was like okay, but it dipped like here and there, and it being a platformer, but it also leans a bit more like an action. There's some more action like involved, like with fighting like enemies. The performance is like around like 60, but it has like the tendency to dip a lot. But on the Switch 2, it just like is a steady 60 FPS, and for it being like a platformer game with some action, you just want to have that steady FPS. Man, I think like 60 FPS is such a game changer. To me, that's one of the most important bits with a game, like 60 FPS or like a steady 30 FPS. But of course, like 60 is like, yeah, my bigger preference, of course. Yeah, it's just a game changer. I even with older games, if they run like on a steady 60 FPS, it just makes it feel like so much better. But yeah, the nice thing with Buckaroo, it also is a very fun game to play, and it also looks pretty damn awesome. It looks like a very cool, just, yeah, like a cool platformer with some action involved. But again, I just don't see this one that often. So it's worth checking out, and yeah. Now, that's actually gonna do it. Those were 5 games. Let's go over them again. Let's show the stack. There you go. So 5 more games for the Nintendo Switch collection. And yeah, You know, if you're more like focused on like your budget, I would recommend like checking out Darksiders 3. And because that one, you should be able to find it for around like 15 or so. And yeah, for the Turtles games, I'm not quite sure about that though. And yeah, Star Wars Heritage Pack is just a fantastic bundle. And Bakaru, most likely that one is very difficult to find like secondhand, so you have to purchase it like brand new. So check some more gameplay footage of it to check out if it is really something for you. But yeah, keep your eye on it. Put it on the list. That's gonna do it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, thanks all. Thanks everybody for the likes and the subscribes in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Have a very nice day and see you all later.